Good morning, everyone. I am Ryan Scallon. I am the still relatively new superintendent of Portland Public Schools, and I think I have the enviable responsibility of both just welcoming you to this, but also the advantage that I get to come to the ground, breaking the ribbon cutting, I guess is the right term, the ribbon cutting and the celebration, but didn't have to live through all of the construction. And so I get to enjoy the party and the celebration and all of the hard work that paid off for today without having sort of lived through everything that you did. But I just wanted to start off this morning by welcoming you all and recognizing the celebration and the hard work that we are here to celebrate today. And so can we start just first with acknowledging and celebrating the beautiful facility that we are here to welcome. So just a huge round of applause for this. The renovations that we're celebrating today at Presumpscot, Longfellow, and Reiki schools are essential to facilitating improved teaching, learning, and building of strong, safe school communities, all of which that are foundational to the equity, achievement, and whole student goals of our strategic plan and the work of Portland Public Schools. The renovations you see here today are the result of the work of many people, both past and present, who have given their time, effort, and service, and I'd like to take a moment to express our deep gratitude to them. First and foremost, to the City of Portland, the councilors, and Mayor Mark Dion, and all that did work to make sure that we got here today. Thank you for this. To State Senator Dusan and State Representative Zager, who are here today with us today, thank you for your contributions. I'd like to recognize current board members that are with us today: Mickey Bondo, who's our vice chair, Emily Figdor, and Dr. Opperman, who, with their vision, support, and oversight of these projects, helped us get us here today, so thank you. This work doesn't happen without the work of our facilities team, both individuals who helped with the design, the work to make sure that these projects got off the ground and then lived through this work, as well as a special recognition to our custodians who not just helped to move around furniture and cleaned up during construction, but also made sure that school was ready every day and made sure that our buildings continue to remain bright, exciting places even after the construction. So a big thank you to our facilities team. If you live around Longfellow or any of our schools that went through renovations, you know that they are not quiet projects. And so just a big thank you to our communities around each of our schools. You put up with these construction noises, traffic issues, and other disruptions so that we can complete these projects. Thank you for your understanding. You helped make today possible, and so thank you for the surrounding communities. Thank you to Principal Brading and all of our principals who helped to make sure that they could lead through this work. It's hard work being a principal, let alone in a construction zone. And so thank you to all of our school leaders for their work during this. And then last but certainly not least, a thank you to our families, staff, students, and other members of the public for their participation and feedback throughout this process to help ensure that these great renovations matched the needs, values, and our beliefs of what is important for all students in Portland Public Schools to experience. Thank you for your contributions in this. At this time, I'm going to welcome up Mayor Dion for some words.
I thought I was going last, so that's why I was surprised he called me up. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for turning out for this special event. It's important to see you all here to acknowledge the work that many have done. Last night, my granddaughters flew in from California. One's in kindergarten and one's in TK. And the one in kindergarten, when I had her sit up on my lap, I asked her about school, and she was so excited. I asked her teacher's name, and she told me, Mrs. Hudson. And I said, what do you think? And she goes, I love her. She helps me with everything. And she had such a positive energy talking about her new role in the real school. I didn't say this at the last speech, but she felt now she was in real school because she was in kindergarten. I was excited by that. My youngest one, she's in TK and had to demonstrate her mastery of the alphabet this morning so that I would recognize she was learning something too. They're very competitive. And it made me happy because it appears that their first steps, so essential to becoming part of the school community, is being accomplished. And as a grandparent and as a parent, that's what we want for all our kids. And this initiative and the reconstruction of these schools is a tangible reminder that the city of Portland and the families who live here wanted to realize a similar vision for their students, their children, to have the kind of space that's necessary to see their success maximized. I want to take the opportunity to thank 3 people that made this happen. When you take elected office or appointed office like the superintendent, you sometimes inherit the initiative, the leadership, and the outcomes that others set in play. You get to somehow take credit for it, and I feel somewhat guilty about that. So I want to take a moment and actually share with all of you who deserves that credit. First, I go to my friend Emily Figdor. As I said earlier this morning, her passion and her commitment to see the school initiative through surpasses anyone that I've worked with as a partner in this project. Her ability, her leadership to marshal the constituents that were necessary to secure the bond package, and then in her work as co-chair of the Building Construction Committee, is a testimony to the power of an individual who decides they want something better, not just for themselves and their family, but the community as a whole. So I salute you, Emily, for that work. And I want to tell you, because as passionate as she is about Reiki School, she has a parochial interest there for her own family, her own children. She shared an equal concern, a vision, and a commitment to all the schools that were in this project, Longfellow included. She provided real balanced leadership through that process. And let me tell you, there were moments it was really tough. Some of the hard work that needs to be accomplished, you never see it in the public. But as your representative, let me tell you, it was done, and Emily was always there to point the direction forward. So thank you, Emily. I also want to acknowledge Mayor Strimling. The decision to go on this path was not easy. There were many crosswinds of political interest that was said otherwise. He stayed the course, and thanks, Ethan. You set us into a posture that we could actually realize the reality of these schools. And I think good leaders do that. They plant seeds and maintain a commitment and a fidelity to the idea that it'll get done. And it did get done. So thank you, Mayor. Third, but surely not least, Superintendent Botana, thank you for what you did. It's amazing that we were able to do all this construction work and everything that entails, and still he managed to lead the schools through a process that allowed for that effort while maintaining stability and commitment to the education of the children in his charge and to the staff to whom he's responsible for it. That is no easy task. I think leaders don't get the credit they deserve when everything looks like it's working, if they could only understand what needs to be done behind the curtain to realize that outcome. So thank you very much, Superintendent Botana. And during the construction phase and the committee work, he never lost faith that we would get there. And there were moments where I would get in the car and say, I don't know, all right? And he probably did the same thing, but he didn't share it with us. He just believed we were going to get there. And sometimes that's what's needed to get the job done. So I just want you to know that the three critical people that work behind the scenes and marshal their partners to realize this goal, they're the ones who did it. And I'm only here as mayor to acknowledge that and give thanks on behalf of the city, its families, its children and students. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Emily Figdor. I represent District 2 on the school board, and I had the immense privilege of leading the community effort to pass the bond that made the funding to renovate Longfellow possible. And I also co-chaired the committee that oversaw the renovations. But first, before I get into my comments, I want to just acknowledge that the mayor was just incredibly humble. And he absolutely deserves a lot of the credit for our being able to be here today. And I'll just tell you briefly, but before, when the bond was still quite controversial, and few leaders in our community wanted to stick their necks out, the mayor, then a state senator, came door to door with me to talk to people throughout the community about the poor conditions of our schools and why they needed to be renovated. He did a little video for our campaign, and that was just the beginning. At really critical moments, he then co-chaired the committee with me that oversaw the renovations, and at really critical moments when we were stuck, he came in and really helped to move the projects forward. So I just want to say thank you so much, Mayor Dion. You are absolutely a critical part of these projects, and I really appreciate your leadership over many years. So I could not be happier to be here today with all of you to celebrate such a tremendous milestone. We have done it, Portland. The renovations are done. We've transformed Longfellow and the other aging school buildings into 21st century learning environments, and we did it under budget and ahead of schedule. We know it takes a village to raise a child. We have learned it takes a city to renovate its rundown schools. There were many naysayers when a ragtag few of us with kids in the schools started this effort in the fall of 2015. We built on previous waves of parents who had tried before us. The schools were in very poor condition and did not meet modern educational standards. That was not disputed. But we heard many reasons why we couldn't possibly fix the schools. The loudest one was that we should wait for the state to do it. The state has a major capital school construction program for schools in the very worst condition across the state. And the state had already built us 3 brand new elementary schools, East End, Ocean Ave, and Rowe. But school construction is a local, not a state responsibility, and Portland had not made a major investment in our school buildings in a quarter of a century. It's a good thing we wouldn't take no for an answer. In the time that we passed the bond and rebuilt our 4 schools, the state finished construction on no schools at all from their 2017 to 2018 rating cycle. So we got to work. We organized all across the city. Hundreds of people testified before the school board, the ad hoc committee on school facilities, and the city council. People came to rallies and protests, and we even held hands all around Reike School. 66 volunteers knocked on nearly 25,000 doors all across the city. So many people contributed in a multitude of ways. There was a bake sale years ago outside of Longfellow. We raised $1,000 from a bake sale to support our efforts. Once the bond passed, we faced escalating construction costs, the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chain problems, and countless other hurdles, but nothing stopped our team. Portland's 4 renovated schools are truly evidence of how much we can accomplish when we come together as a city. I want to recognize some of the people who are particularly responsible for us being here today, in addition to Mayor Dion. First, the school leaders, custodians, and staff at Longfellow who kept the school open and our students learning throughout the construction. The team at Harriman, the architectural and engineering firm that redesigned the schools with an absolute resolute commitment to transforming them on a very tight budget, led by Mark Lee, Lisa Sawin, Stephen Fraser, and Emily Waugh. Blaine Casey Construction, and all of the subcontractors and workers who did the physical labor. Former Superintendent Javier Batana and former Mayor Ethan Strimling, without whom the schools would have never been renovated. Dave Lewis, our owner's representative, now retired district operations staff, Steve Stilfen and Doug Sherwood, and current district leaders, Tamara Sweeney, Sarah Warren, and Superintendent Ryan Scallon. And finally, I want to recognize each and every one of you who was involved in passing the bond, who voted for it, or who came to believe in it after the bond passed. These elementary schools are now worthy of our children and our staff, thanks to you, Portland. I hope you feel pride in what we accomplished. I know I do.
Thank you. I have a crew of kids here who are so excited to come up and cut the ribbon, so my speech is going to be a little bit shorter because I know they're excited and they want to share with you all the wonderful things about the school. So I'm Nicole Brady and I'm the current principal, but we could have not done this project without the support of Terry Young, who is the previous principal to me at the beginning of this project. So I just want to acknowledge that, and he couldn't be here today, but really appreciate his support. Welcome to the new building. We appreciate the work of the BFOF team, the construction team, the planning team, the community members, the staff, the teachers, the students, the families, and everyone else in the community who was so patient while we had portables in the parking lot, and we had to move classrooms and pack boxes numerous times through this process. But the hard work has paid off. Our new school includes state-of-the-art classrooms, a new pre-K wing, technology, new bathrooms, a new front office, a new front entryway. Each classroom has technology that builds inclusivity into the classrooms through specialized sound systems and projectors that can reach all learners. We have shifted some of our spaces to accommodate new specialized programs that also reach all learners. Our new pre-K wing allows for students to engage and play inside and outside of the classroom. And our new lower level includes a conference room, a district office, and expanded bathroom facilities. We have new desks and chairs in each classroom that allow for engaged learning. And our main office, you'll see, has a welcoming vestibule for all of you. Our school has made excitement around learning every day. We appreciate everyone being here, and we're excited to take you through. Also wanted to give a big shout out to Tricia Shore, the assistant principal, who's also here with the students. She has been with us for 7 years. 8 years, and so actually saw the construction and the project from the very beginning and has been the assistant principal for this is her third year with me. So couldn't have done this without her. And I'm so excited to welcome up, we have about 6 or 7 students who want to join with the ribbon cutting. Okay, come on up.
One person like that, right? You want to do it? No electricity. One here, hold that. Right here, hold that. Okay, we got to do it really tight so when the scissor comes down, it'll actually cut, right? If it's not tight, you can't cut it. Right, scissors?
Oh my goodness. Look at these scissors.
All right.
Oh my
Some of these scissors are bigger than the kids.
There, yeah. Okay, the two of us, you two will cut, right? So back up a little bit, open it up, bring it forward, good, hold on there. You see that? How we're gonna do it?
Cutting it.
Okay. Here's that. All right.
Yeah, stay frozen.
When I say one, pull the ribbon tight. Two, take a breath. Three, you cut. All right? You ready? One, pull tight. Two, take a breath. Three, cut. All right, folks.
Awesome.
Good job. High five.
Many people.